y'all, this is Jenny with Norna Scraps, and today we're going to talk a little bit about shadowing. Before I go too far, I have to apologize if suddenly everything gets real jerky. I have a cat who's decided she has got to help me on the computer no matter what I say. Anyway, so I have set up my screen with three elements. That's the pink flower and the two yellow flowers. The sun and the rays of the sun are just to help me show you exactly what I'm talking about when we talk about adding a shadow to the images that we use. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about the depth of field, the direction of the shadow, and how we change all that. Let's get started. I'm going to first begin with my yellow flower at the top of my screen. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to select my shadow. Now, I like to do it this way. I move my box that appears when I've clicked on the image on top of my image. Then if you see the angle of the shadow, the little white area that I'm encircling now is what's going to move the degree of angle of the shadow. Now, this is the closest image to my background. Whenever you have an image that's close to the background, it's going to have a little bit more defined shadow. The further away from the background, the less defined the shadow is going to be. We're going to talk about what you can do to change that in just a second. But now we're going to talk about angle. Where's the shadow coming from? I usually set a point at one corner, one area of my background page. That's why I've got this sun on my page. That means that all the shadows will emanate from that point. Think about being outside. If the sun is shining in the east, all of the shadows will appear on the opposite side of that sunshine. They will not appear, some of them on the west. They will not come from the center part. It will all come from the same direction. And that's what this kind of mimics. So I take my little dot and I move my angle of my shadow to where it goes right into my corner or my sunshine. Now, like I said, this is the closest it is to the background. So the next thing I can do is I can select offset. I could offset it by quite a bit, but it's realistically not going to be that far away. I like to do things in degrees or points of 3. So I take this one out to 3 points. Little shadow, it's close, maybe 4 or 5. Let's go with 5. The blur, again, the further away from the background, the greater the blur. I often will set this at just about the same point value as I had above. I think the biggest change that I have decided makes a huge difference is the color. So I'm going to click on my color, and I have a wheel that appears. I'm going to go to my eyedropper. I'm going to select the background color. In real life, the background color, or the color of shadows, is not black. It is not gray. It is simply a darker version of what the background is. So that's what I'm going to select here. My shadow is going to be the darker version of what I see here. And I'm going to go with that green, and bring it to my favorite so I have it accessible. And I'm going to click on OK. I like that. Now I'm going to select my other flower. Again, I'm going to take my angle and point it towards the corner or the area I've designated to be my light point. Offset by 3 to 4. Blur by the same. Select shadow, click on color, select the dark background, and say OK. And now I'm going to go to the pink flower. Now the pink flower is the furthest away from the background. That means that you're going to be able to see more of the shadow. So I'm going to select it. First I'm going to get the angle, place it on my flower, Goes towards the center of the sun. Click it on. Oh, I've been forgetting to tell you that. My offset, since I've got like 3, I'm going to go to maybe a little bit more, 10. Again, the blur is the further away, the greater the blur. I could even make it even more opaque, but I think my color pretty much takes care of that. Selected my green, and there you have my flowers. I think that looks really good. Now, if I wanted a little bit more of this shadow to show, I would offset it a little bit more. Maybe blur it. And some of this comes with just what you like. And there you have another image of what this flower is. I think that gives that a lot of, these 3 flowers, a lot of depth. This one looks like it's just popping out from the center of the other 2. It's fun to just set up something like this and play with your shadows. Hopefully, you'll have a lot of luck with them and you'll really begin to enjoy using the shadow feature. Until next time, bye.